Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. A week ago I made a video on 10 introductory goals for new accounts, and today I thought I would make 10 goals for mid-level accounts. Now mid-level is a bit vague from a lot of people. I consider it between levels 50 and 75 or something like that. Late game I'd consider into the 90s, and like raids, stuff like that would be kind of considered late game. So here's 10 goals for mid-level accounts. Coming in at number 1 is to get level 50 construction. What level 50 construction unlocks is house portals and a mounted glory for your house. Both of these are extremely useful, especially the mounted glory, because you don't have to waste so many charges buying and selling Amulet of Glories off of the Grand Exchange. The house portals are also extremely useful because you can set up portals to places all over RuneScape and they will be free. You just need to carry around house teleports. Well, not free, I guess. You still need to pay for the house teleports, but they're more about the convenience. You can get teleports to Varrock, Valador, or even better is teleports on the Lunar Spellbook or Ancient Spellbook. So you can have teleports to the Fishing Guild without having to be on the Lunar Spellbook. You just set up the portal in your house, or I think there's one to the Deep Wilderness as well if you want to set that one up as well. And 50 construction, while it's a little expensive, you won't run you more than 3 or 4 mil probably, and it's very quick to level up, so it won't take that long. Coming in at number 2 is to get to level 77 Slayer. Now you don't have to get exactly to level 77, but once you get into the 70s for Slayer, you start unlocking actual profitable tasks to do. At level 70 Slayer, you're going to unlock Cuirass, which is a great AFK task that can get you 300 to 400k an hour depending on the prices. Level 72, you get Skeletal Wyverns, very good AFK task for range as well. 75 is Gargoyles, again, very good AFK task for Slayer. You can actually melee this one and you can make 400 or 500k an hour depending. And at level 77, you get Brutal Black Dragons, which, again, very good AFK task. 77 Slayer does take a while to get to, but it's a good goal to work towards, or 80 Slayer even if you want to go for Necreals. But getting to the 70s and 80s of Slayer is pretty vital because everything before that is not very good, or at least not profitable. Coming in at number 3 is completing the Mauretania Hard Diaries. In my opinion, the Mauretania Diary is one of the best ones to complete, and the Hard Diary especially offers quite a bit at that tier level. To complete the Mauretania Diary, you're going to need a few high requirements, mainly 70 defense, 71 agility, and 66 magic. Now there's some other requirements, but they're only around level 50. Now some of the best rewards from the Hard Diary here is, for one, 50% more runes from Barrows, which adds up to be quite a bit when you're doing Barrows runs, because a very large percentage of your profit comes from runes when you're doing that. It unlocks the Bone Crusher, which is an excellent way to get passive prayer experience when you're doing Slayer tasks or just killing monsters in general. It lets you get double the fungus when you're harvesting Mortmire fungus, which doesn't exactly double your profit, but it brings it up quite substantially. Also, you get 7.5% extra Slayer experience when you're killing things in the Slayer Tower, and it also offers unlimited teleports to Berg de Rot. If you want to run to Barrows from there, it's a viable method, although I find just using the Barrows tablets to be more effective. And that's not even it, there's more things there, but these are the most important ones. Any of the diaries are going to be good to complete, but I wanted to be a little more specific with this video, so I'm suggesting the Mauretania Hard Diaries. Coming in at number 4 is unlocking the alternate spellbooks. So to do that, you'll need to complete Desert Treasure, Lunar Diplomacy, and obtain 60% favor in the Arceus Spellbook. Now the Lunar Spellbook is very useful for magic training. It has a few different methods that are a good combination between good experience and profitable, and also offers some useful teleports as well as ways to keep your herbs alive, and a few other things. The Ancient Spellbook offers, again, quite a few useful teleports. It unlocks Bursting, which is very important for late game magic training, which you'll need to get this done eventually anyway. And of course for PKing if you're into that. The Arceus Spellbook is probably the easiest to unlock, but offers a very good alternative to prayer training via killing ensouled heads, and offers a few useful teleports, but it's probably the least useful of the 3 alternate spellbooks. And as I mentioned earlier, once you get the alternate spellbooks unlocked, you can put some of the teleports in your POH, and you will not have to be on that spellbook to use it, which is a very useful perk. Coming in at number 5 is obtaining the Barrows Gloves. This is just a really good goal to go for right from the get-go, but it is a mid-level goal unlocking Barrows Gloves. There's a bunch of quests you need to complete, and the largest requirement is you need to have obtained 175 quest points. They're the best in slot gloves for melee, sometimes the best in slot gloves for range, and if you don't have a better glove, even good for magic as well. And by going around and completing all the quests required for Barrows Gloves, all of the skill requirements, you're going to get a decent mid-level account just inherently by completing this. Coming in at number 6 is completing My Arm's Big Adventure. This is going to give you access to a disease-free farming patch in Trollheim, which is an excellent place to grow high-level herbs like Renars. The reason being, since there is no chance of your herb dying and you're guaranteed at least 6, this makes it an ideal patch to plant the Renar seed at if you're an Ironman or if you just want to kind of min-max your farm runs a little bit. So for an example, right now I am farming toad flaxes because overall per patch it's actually more profitable because the ratio between the cost of the seed and the cost of the herb is very good. Now that's only standing true because the other patches there is a chance of the herb dying, where at the Trollheim patch there's no chance of that, so it's almost always worth to just plant a higher level herb there. Coming in at number 7 is getting the requirements for the Trident of the Swamp and the Toxic Blowpipe. These are both heavily used items and for a good reason. The Blowpipe is like the #1 range weapon. It's almost used everywhere. It has the highest DPS on most monsters. You use it for Zulrah, Slayer, most monsters honestly, not all, but most. The Trident of the Swamps is very useful again at Zulrah, Barrows, if you're killing crazy archaeologists or some other wilderness demi-bosses, and it's just a very useful weapon overall. You'll need 75 range for the Blowpipe and 75 mage for the Trident of the Swamp. Coming in at number 8 is unlocking Piety. To unlock Piety, you're going to require 70 prayer, as well as completing the King's Ransom quest and the Knight's Training Ground mini quest after to unlock it. Piety is going to give a temporary 25% boost to a player's defense, 23% boost to a player's strength, and a 20% boost to the player's attack. It is the strongest prayer for melee and is very useful for Slayer tasks. If you want to flick Piety, it's very cheap even, and the extra defense is always useful as well. Whenever you're doing bosses, like you're doing the Grotesque Guardian, you're going to want to have Piety. Any high level monster having Piety is going to be extremely useful. And 70 prayer doesn't take long to unlock. It's a little pricey, but really it's not that bad for how useful these later game prayers can be. Coming in at number 9 is unlocking the Dragon Defender. To unlock the Dragon Defender, you need to have 130 total between your attack and strength to get access to the Warriors Guild. After that, you have to get tokens, which you can then spend to unlock time within the Ogre room. You got to keep killing them until you get your Bronze Defender, upgrade it to Iron, keep going all the way to Dragon. There should be some videos on YouTube if you really need to know how. Compared to some of these other unlocks, it's actually not too hard to get. It's the second best offhand for melee, that's just behind the Avernic Defender, and is untradeable, which is useful in itself. And you're going to use it quite a lot from any melee task where defense isn't a priority, so that's pretty much most of them, to be honest. And coming in at number 10 is completing Monkey Madness 2, Dragon Slayer 2, and Regicide, or just shooting for one of them. These are all kind of mid to late game quests that are going to have some very good rewards attached with them. Not only do they offer very good one-time experience rewards, they also have some of the best unlocks in the game. Monkey Madness 2 unlocks the best range/magic training method in the game. This is because you can splash within the Monkey Madness 2 tunnels. This can offer upwards of 600 to 700k an hour range experience if you know how to do it correctly. You don't get as much magic experience, but it's still the best magic training method in the game. Expensive again, but it's really good to have this unlocked for later. Dragon Slayer 2 unlocks Vorkath, which is arguably a little bit better than Zulrah. Great consistent money making and a little bit easier to learn than Zulrah. And the Regicide quest, which is of course to unlock Zulrah. You'll really just need to get 75 range and 75 magic to be able to start killing Zulrah. You can do it before then, but it's going to be a lot harder. Honestly, I would just pick one of these quests. Zulrah is a little bit easier of a quest to complete, so maybe go for that first, and then maybe Monkey Madness 2, and then Dragon Slayer 2, something like that. But these 3 quests are really good mid-game goals to go for. Anyway guys, that is it. Those are my 10 mid-game account goals. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave it a like. I always appreciate it, and I will see you next time.